Gear has several tires, letting it land safely if it loses one. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Shop Macy's Backstage today for amazing deals on everything you need for summer. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you at Macy'sBackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are back in action tonight after an off day on Monday. They're in Philadelphia for the first game of a 3-game series. The Phillies have the best record in the major leagues at 58-32. The Angels lost at home Monday night to the Texas Rangers. Former Clipper star Paul George will wear number 8 when he suits up for the Philadelphia 76ers. George chose number 8 to honor Kobe Bryant. George is unable to wear his normal number 13 jersey. That number, worn by Hall of Famer Wilt Chamberlain, was retired by the Philadelphia franchise in 1991. Chamberlain plays 7 of his 19 NBA seasons with Philadelphia. The LA Sparks are at home tonight against Minnesota. The Sparks have only one win since June 9th. Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese set a WNBA record with 13 consecutive double-doubles. She broke the record held by former Sparks star Candace Parker. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California. Home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for Black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign. Million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for Black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Aviterus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for Black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the Black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@KBLA1580.com. That's advertising at KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got you Black.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money P. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not to unsettle you. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First Black on Talk Radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DePrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted Black and Brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the Queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DePrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. This show is called First Things First. And my first thing today, tomorrow, and the next day, giving thanks and giving praises and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders and getting it going. We got a lot to talk about every single day. Okay, so the structure of the show most days is hour one, we do local, what's going on around here, these parts. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive into something or other. A person, perhaps a profile, or it could be a hot topic. You're invited in every hour to speak your mind. This is a two-way street. It is, in fact, what we call Talking Point Tuesday. And the talking points are flying right now, especially pertaining to what shall happen, who shall be on the ballot in 2024. Yeah, I know, it's just a few months away. All that conversation, debunking, unpacking, vetting the things that we say to ourselves and each other is part of our mission on Tuesdays. And it is also Black Women's Equal Pay Day, so we will be joined in Hour 3 by attorney Angela Reddick-Wright. Look at issues of pay equity, equality, disparities, and all of that stuff, which dovetails with what some of our concerns are around the election in 2024. There's much going on, and you are welcome to unpack and vet. Have a little fellowship, maybe a fight. I'm here for it. 800-920-1580. We fight in the spirit of expanding our gray matter. You know, the stuff between your ears. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That is your information superhighway via the phone to get in this conversation, which is always a dialogue and rarely a monologue. It's hot. I know that's not breaking news. But what I didn't realize is the depth of it, right? So we're in the middle of a heat wave, and scientists typically say we can't tie this one heat wave to the climate emergency. But we can tie the increased frequency of heat waves in general and severity, meaning how hot it gets and how long it stays hot. We can tie that to man-made emissions and the impacts of our basically polluting the planet through fossil fuels, et cetera, et cetera. So that to me is ironic. Okay, you can't say this one heat wave is caused by the climate emergency, but what we can say, according to scientists, is that they're happening more, they're hotter, more back-to-back record-setting days. That part is tieable to the climate emergency. Okay, so I can't tie one elephant to climate emergency, but I could tie the whole herd. I mean, you do the logic there. It speaks to why this climate justice campaign that we're on here is so urgent, and it speaks to why this has got to be an escalating issue of importance, becoming more important as the days go by, because it isn't too late, because we can still leave a humanly habitable space for our grandchildren and their grandchildren. We can still do it. It's not too late. It's a matter of awareness and political will. So I'm saying that because when we're bothered by something, i.e., it's so hot, it's easier to motivate ourselves, to take action. Plus, I think we talked about this maybe about a month ago with a scientist a climate scientist who was on the show, about how people's moods deteriorate when it's very hot. So you're more likely to see violence, whether it's domestic violence, yelling at our kids, lashing out at our loved ones. And I'm just bringing that to our attention so we can be mindful about it, because it's not just like, it's not something I thought up or you thought up. The data is there. As the climate warms, we're more prone toward violence. Both individual outbursts, right, and wars. So whether they be gang wars or militarized wars. So breathe easy, try to take it slow. And then there's this thing about people dying from the heat, right? And the weird piece of this is that, especially if you're in Southern California, there's a lot of folks who pass away from heat stroke, heat exhaustion. I think there's 4 different heat diseases. I can't remember all the 4 names. But I know heat stroke, heat exhaustion, those are 2 of them. And we don't know that because the person had something else going. They had diabetes or high blood pressure or this or that. So we assume it was their illness, or we assume it was old age, or we think it was some kind of failure of some body system, when in fact it could be heat-related illness and dehydration. So if you're an elder, or you're taking care of an elder or a person who's vulnerable for another reason, try to make sure they sip, sip, sip a little bit of water all day. Sip, sip, sip. It's the guzzling, which is what I like to do, that doesn't help as much. Unless you can guzzle down a lot of water first thing in the morning when your system is empty. You can put a lot into it's like creating a reservoir in your system. Your colon is empty, so you can drink more water and absorb it. But the rest of the time, I like to wake up with like 24 ounces. Some people do 33. It also jump starts your system. Because who can do coffee at 5 o'clock in the morning? Maybe you can. I can't. But then the rest of the day, you're meant to be sipping just a little sip. 8 to 16 ounces an hour. 8 to 16 ounces an hour. Just sip, sip, sip. And a lot of time elders don't want to do it because they don't want to have to go to the bathroom. But right now it's actually a matter of life and death. It really is. Because you're talking about heat, not just one hot day or 2 hot days, but consecutive record-setting days. And then it stays warm at night, so your body doesn't really get a break. And we do have these cooling centers, and you can find out where they are at the LA City website. There's lists of cooling centers where you can go and sit down and get your body temperature down. And that's actually really important, especially, again, if you don't have air, like I don't. Of course, I don't live in the valley or anywhere where it's super, super, super hot right now. The thing is, we've got at least till Friday of this continuing, and maybe longer in some spots. So we're looking at, like 2 weeks of continuous heat like this. So just be aware that you might not notice, but you might be dehydrated. And you can go to a library, you can go to a mall, but there's some official cooling centers that's free where you can just go sit and chill. I know there's one at Jim Gilliam in Baldwin, well, the Jungles. Let's go to the Jays. Over there at Jim Gilliam Park, and that's free, and that's close to, a lot of the areas, neighborhoods right around the west side of South LA. So if it might not be you, but if you've got a little kid or elder in your life and you don't have air, you might consider taking them to a cooling center and just chilling out, read a book, swipe on your phone or something like that. It's one of those dangers that we don't pay attention to, because if you're from SoCal, you're used to a certain level of heat, whatever. But there are some things the body needs. Water is one of them. Without it, you die. Sleep is one of them. Believe it or not, without it, you die. We don't take that seriously, because folks like to say, well, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Well, if you don't sleep, you'll be dead a lot sooner, so you'll get to sleep right away. I don't know if you remember this story. There was a man, when the World Cup was in South Africa, there was a man who decided he was going to watch every match and not sleep. And he actually died from sleep deprivation. So that's a thing. It's like Dick Gregory used to say, Baba Dick Gregory used to say, the leading causes of death in this country: lack of sleep, lack of exercise, and dehydration. Now, I suppose lack of exercise could kill you. I never really broke that down, but we know for sure no sleep and no water. You can go for a long time without food, but you can't go long without water or sleep. It's going to be another blazing one, so let's take care of ourselves and our vulnerable loved ones. 800-920-1580. There's much going on, much to unpack. The Board of Supervisors, LA County Board of Supervisors, now proposing, well, a couple of the supervisors, Hahn and Horvath, apparently picking up on something that Supervisor Holly Mitchell had proposed earlier, which is expanding the Board of Supervisors so that there's no longer just 5 incredibly powerful seats, but maybe as many as 9. We'll take a look at that. What does it mean? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? The LA Sentinel, Danny Bakewell Jr. had a rather scathing editorial on this on yesterday, and I've been hearing murmurings on both sides. Clearly, change in governance is warranted, but what is the way forward? And whatever's on your mind is welcome to 800-920-1580. We're looking left coast right now, 800-920-1580. I am Dominique DePremer for Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
KBLA Talk 1580 is now celebrating 3 years of amplifying our voice and uplifting our community. We deeply appreciate your support of this radio station and will always do our level best to earn your support. Here's to many more years of loving and serving our community. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
I know it's gonna happen without you.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Summer's greatest hits are going on now, and Macy's One Day Sale has summer's greatest savings. Shop limited time specials like 40 to 60% off everything for this weekend's Backyard Bash. From the Cellar Barbecue, Henkel's, and Tupperware, 40 to 70% off fine jewelry from Effie, Levion, and more, and 30 to 55% off bras, pajamas, and more basics. Hurry in. Our one-day sale starts Tuesday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Have you noticed the hype around retinol lately? It's all over my social media. But did you know you can get retinol in a body wash? Amazing, right? Olay Retinol Body Wash is packed with moisturizing vitamin B3 complex plus retinol to transform dry skin to visibly renewed in just 14 days. Try it the next time you shower and see the difference for yourself with Olay Retinol Body Wash for visibly renewed skin in just 14 days. And try Olay Retinol 24 Body Lotion.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now, you're back to me and back to you at 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That's the number if you want to get in. What's crazy? COVID is surging again. This is some new variant. They have the nerve to call it flirt. I don't know how, that might not be how you really say it, but that's how it's spelled. And people are getting sick again. I'm not going to do the whole gloom and doom routine, but what the LA Times reported, and I have been hearing the murmurings, is that this particular variant is painful. right? So folks feel like the more times you get COVID, the milder it gets, but it might not feel like that. Reportedly, this one feels like razor blades slicing your throat. So I'm just saying, be careful. If you're going to go to a rave, you might want to wear a mask. If you're going to go to a crowded restaurant, you might not want to go. Or you might want to sit outside or wear a mask. I don't know. I noticed I was one of the few people wearing a mask when we were flying. And I just don't like getting sick. I don't want to get COVID. I don't want to get the flu. I don't want to get your personal cooties. Yeah, I'm a germaphobe. I was already a germaphobe before COVID. Just a little reminder. It's weird because it's supposed to be a winter surge, but apparently we're having a summer surge around LA. So, just be careful. You know what to do. We just went through this. I don't think you need any public service announcements on that, but just a reminder. All right, we're going to go to Fred calling us from the Crenshaw District. Hotep, Fred, Jumbo, Ola, what's up?
Gombola, thank you, Sister Dominique. You're doing a great show. Keep up the great work. I was up this morning. I think it's a good idea for the Board of Supervisors to expand their number from 5 until 9. As you know, the 5 women on the Board of Supervisors have a lot of have a lot of work to do in their district. So I definitely would support that measure on the November 5th ballot, especially since Hilda Solis and Holly J. Mitchell, who's the supervisor for my district, has that. So, like I said, I would like to support that. I think it'll pass. And my other concern I have is the election. We all got to vote. I don't know how anybody in their right mind could vote for a convicted felon. Isn't that crazy? So I understand the Democratic Convention will be next month, the 19th to the 21st. I feel that Joe Biden is doing a great job. If it should turn out that he should step down, I don't think he will. You got Kamala Harris and Governor Newsom, and I think either one of them come off the floor with Trump, and we're in a situation where we all got to vote. Like I was telling a buddy of mine yesterday, if you don't vote, you have no say-so. And Trump says he doesn't know anything about this 2025. Yeah. It's going to be a mess.
Yeah, and he never slept with a porn star. He doesn't know anything about 2025. The election was stolen. His crowd was bigger than Obama's. Blah, blah, blah.
And then one of the things, what happened, he wanted to dismantle the Civil Service Commission. I get Social Security. He may cut my money down. We have got to stick with the Democratic Party. So I know you got a lot of calls lined up. Keep doing what you're doing, Sister Dominique. I applaud your radio station. Y'all, you really break it down.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And you really stay engaged, which is super important. When we're talking about the LA County Board of Supervisors, we have Supervisor Hahn and Supervisor Horvath, who have put forth this proposal to, expand the Board of Supervisors from 5 folks to 9. And, the Board of Supervisors is no joke. I think they control more money and serve more people than many states have. Just LA County. That's not the whole state of California. That's just LA County. It's almost a $46 billion annual budget. And each of the 5 supervisors has about 2 million people in their constituency. So if you're Hilda Solis, you have 2,000 voters, 2 million voters in your area. That's a lot of people. You look at the Los Angeles City Council, they have about, I believe, 250,000 each. And we're still talking about expanding city council, but that's a different conversation for another day. So this is something that Horvath and Hahn want to put on the November ballot. It's not only expanding the board. There's some transparency measures that are supposed to be part of this. And they're talking about making the CEO, the chief executive officer of the county, an elected rather than appointed seat, which could be good or bad. I mean, when I say that, I think about the sheriff. We vote for the sheriff, but most of us aren't experts. And so we can end up with a nightmare like a Villanueva. On the other hand, you have this county CEO, which, is guiding and making decisions over almost $50 billion of our tax dollars. And so that does seem like there should be some input, direct input from the people. So if this, their motions, that's what they call them in the county, these motions go forward, that would put these things on the ballot, and we'll have one more thing to figure out in November. They want to start an ethics commission for the LA County Board of Supervisors. What Danny Bakewell Jr. is arguing, and maybe I need to get him in here if we can, is that we've known these reforms need to happen, that Supervisor Holly Mitchell put them forth in 2023, and they didn't go forward because we need data. We can't just say, oh, we need 9 supervisors, and this is how we're going to slice it up, and we need an ethics commission. I feel like every government body, most especially the U.S. Supreme Court, but every governing body needs an ethics commission with real teeth and actual oversight powers. But what Bakewell is saying, which kind of did give me pause, is like, have we looked at the data? Is this what would make the county more responsive to voters? Have we looked at how those 9 seats need to be cut up? Is that something we do after we vote on it? Why 9? Why not 7? Why not 20? And is making the county CEO an elected official, is that a plus or a minus? So he's arguing that we need more data and more study. Now, when it comes to the county, they can study something in perpetuity. They can keep doing studies and having recommendations forever, and you'll never see change. So I can understand why Horvath and Hahn may want to push this faster. But on the other hand, if we have none of the data, none of the analysis that was supposed to happen, then that's a problem, because we have this epidemic of unintended consequences where we try to push forward with something and then we haven't done our due diligence in the way that we claim we are going to when the idea sprouts upon the public. So I feel like more investigation is needed as far as my own personal understanding of how this moves forward. To me, it does make sense to expand the number of 2 million people is too many constituents for one supervisor. I mean, if you parse it out, okay, it's 46 billion, but if we round up to 50 billion, that's like a $10 billion budget for each supervisor. I mean, not that many of these initiatives are countywide, and it's not like they split it 5 ways, but just to give you an idea of the scope of the responsibility. And the county is a big, cumbersome entity, but I feel like more conversation is needed. This is the place to do it. News, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A member of the Rochester, New York Fire Department has settled a lawsuit that he filed against the city. Gerard Jones took legal action after saying that he was invited by a captain to a party back in 2022 that he believed mocked the federal holiday Juneteenth. Jones, who is African American, also said that he was discriminated against and endured unfair treatment after being recruited in 2007. Sexually transmitted diseases are on the rise, particularly among older Americans. New data from Fair Health found a nearly 5% jump in STD diagnoses from 2020 through 2023. Among people aged 65 and older, that jump was nearly 24%. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Shop Macy's Backstage today for amazing deals on everything you need for summer. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you at macy'sbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are back in action tonight after an off day on Monday. They're in Philadelphia for the first game of a 3-game series. The Phillies have the best record in the major leagues at 58-32. The Angels lost at home Monday night to the Texas Rangers. Former Clipper star Paul George will wear number 8 when he suits up for the Philadelphia 76ers. George chose number 8 to honor Kobe Bryant. George is unable to wear his normal number 13 jersey. That number, worn by Hall of Famer Wilt Chamberlain, was retired by the Philadelphia franchise in 1991. Chamberlain played 7 of his 19 NBA seasons with Philadelphia. The LA Sparks are at home tonight against Minnesota. The Sparks have only one win since June 9th. Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese set a WNBA record with 13 consecutive double-doubles. She broke the record held by former Sparks star Candace Parker. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3083. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-3083 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-3083.
Hey guys, do you want male performance in the bedroom and do you want it now? Get it in 47 seconds or less. For the first time, you can have instant male enhancement. Introducing Knox 47, the topical male enhancement that works in 47 seconds or less. Satisfaction guaranteed. Finally, after years of scientific research, our proprietary formula will allow you to perform in the bedroom like never before. Just imagine that little blue pill on steroids. No reason to settle and wait when you can get instant performance now. Forget about pills and potions that make you wait hours or up to 30 days to work. That's yesterday's news. Knox 47 is brand new. The hottest thing for men. And you don't need a prescription. Call now and get your free supply for a limited time.
To find out how to get Knox 47 for free, call now. 800-617-1621. That's 800-617-1621. Free bottles for limited time. Call 800-617-1621. That's 800-617-1621.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/TC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do appreciate you. Well, definitely be tracking this. I just wonder why, in 2023, the motion was Supervisor Mitchell and Supervisor Horvath. And this 2024 version is Horvath and Hahn. Where's the rest of the board? They need another, at least one more vote to pass that motion and get it on the ballot. And we're talking about the folks who decide how much money the sheriff's department gets, how much money mental health department gets. All of these are county functions. They play a big role in fixing the unhoused person's problem that we have countywide. So I think, this is something that's going to impact everybody. And so it's definitely, worth doing it right if we're going to do it. Let's go to Michael calling us from L.A. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. Talking Point Tuesday. I hear you, Dr. Boyd.
Okay. Well, what's on your mind? What'd you wake up with this morning, Michael?
Yeah, I just wanted your take about. I forgot what I was going to say. I wanted your take about Joe Biden, how they trying to force him out. And I'm a black Republican. I listen to Fox News radio, and I look at Fox News, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, and all that. Them white women, I'm a Republican, I'm going to call it out how it is. Them white women, they not going to vote Kamala Harris in. So maybe they need to swap her out with the Supreme Court judge, the black lady, what's her name, Sharanji something?
Ketanji Brown Jackson. But she's the vice president. The only one that could, quote, swap her out right now would be Biden because that's the ticket, Biden and Harris.
Yeah.
So,
or Michelle Obama, maybe both of them.
Okay, Michelle Obama already has told us that she doesn't want the job.
Yeah, I know that. But
you got to force her to be president.
Them white ladies never see Michelle Obama in. And another little quick thing I wanted to take on at the rally when Joe Biden ignored the little black girl and it blew up the internet. But,
I haven't seen that, but it is. I'm not. I'd have to see it and know it isn't AI because I know Trump is creating AI pictures of himself surrounded by black people, so it looks like he's not afraid of us, or like he actually has some black friends who aren't on the payroll. So to me, if you got to create AI, you're a long way worse than Biden. At least Biden already has a vice president and a Supreme Court justice, and more in his cabinet than, than almost any in history, I believe. Yeah.
And the last thing I wanted to say was, if we get 4 more years of Joe Biden, we're not gonna have no country. This world is transitioning right before our eyes, and
so what is it that you're afraid of? What is it that makes you say that? What do you think Biden would do in 4 years that would destroy our country?
Most definitely, as a black person, we most definitely going to be forgot about. What they done in 3 years, he barely ignored us. Only right when he go to the NAC.
What are you talking about? He has a black vice president.
That ain't nothing. She barely
that's nothing.
Barely even show her picture.
That's not. Well, that's normal for vice president. The vice president is not the star of the show, but they're in the show. He was the vice president, remember? Okay, but for you to say he's ignored us when he's put an equity lens on. Okay, that's
what he's doing.
That's that talking point out of Chicago. So you've been.
Don't take my word for it. You'll see in 5 years. Don't take my word for it.
How do you replace votes? That's
The
like
guy
white
had 20+
supremacist.
million illegals over here. The guy
Those
had
are
20+
those are
illegals
white
over here.
supremacist talking points now transferred over.
Uh-uh.
Yes,
You'll see 5 years
you will
from
not
now.
replace me.
You
That's
let
what the
Joe
guys
Biden
at
get-
Charlottesville were chanting. You know that, right, Michael?
Nuh-uh. You
Okay.
let Joe Biden get 4 more years. You'll see. Don't take my word for it.
Okay. So you're afraid that Joe Biden is going to allow undocumented immigrants
He
to come
already
in.
did. What we at, 10 million already? He already did
It's
that. Why
11
black
million,
homeless
but
people-
that hasn't come on Biden's watch. That's come over decades of
And then
not
you already
having
know
a
with the black-
comprehensive immigration policy, which
And
is
then you
something
already
that
know with the
falls
black
on both
illegals
Republicans
and-
and Democrats, by the way.
And you already know with the black illegals, the Jamaicans, the Haitians, or whatever, you already know they sending them back anyway.
Okay, so
what's good in it? I mean,
so you think that undocumented workers are going to undocumented individuals are going to suddenly start
don't
voting?
Take my word, you'll see 7 years from now.
But if there's already
Black vote
11
not
million
gonna even
here,
mean nothing.
why wouldn't
Exactly.
if there's already 11
You
million
don't see
here,
change
and they were,
already?
but Michael, those 11 million were here when Trump was in office, and he still managed to.
on his watch.
That's
in
not
3
that's
years.
that's wrong. If 11 million people arrived in the United States in 3 years, it would
Exactly,
be a
in 3
crisis.
years.
No, that's not the truth.
See, a
11
lot of
million
liberals, y'all all look at
undocumented
CNN
people
and
were
y'all
in
don't
this
know the real
country.
story, what's
Okay,
going on.
we
Y'all
got
don't
to
know
go
the
back
real
and
story,
forth. We
what's going
can't
on.
both talk at the same time, Michael. Yeah, you got to show him how to do that because that's not working. You can't you can talk and you can disagree with me, but we can't both talk at the same time. It doesn't sound good. No one can hear anything. So 11 million estimated number of undocumented folks were here under Trump. You might have 11.1 or something now, but it's more or less about the same amount of people. How would that replace you if it hasn't replaced you yet?
Why would they over here? You think he's not going to make them citizenship in a little while to where they're not going to be eligible to vote? The fact is, we already know what is 3% of the, what is we like 4%, 9%, something like that. You will see 7 years from now. Don't take my word for it. The black vote not going to even really mean nothing. Why not vote Republican? That's the only way we going to get something done.
My life doesn't mean anything. Why not commit suicide? Okay, I follow your logic. But the fact of the matter is undocumented people cannot vote. And if Donald Trump had found any undocumented persons committing voter fraud, he would be talking about it every single day. All he does is he says it's going to happen because it's not happening, because that's not why most of these folks come here. They come here trying to either get away from violence or natural disasters, or sometimes they come for economic reasons. They're not coming here trying to replace you as a voter.
Can I make my last point?
Of course.
With no disrespect to nobody, listen, we all want that American dream. We all want to work, pay the bills, do whatever. Everybody can't have that. If you letting everybody over, let the playing field be even. Let the Africans or the Haitians or whatever, they're the ones who really got the asylum claims. But when you discriminate and sending other people's back because of their work, because of their skin color and all that, Joe Biden is the worst president we ever had. If we get him for 4 more years, don't take my word.
That wasn't a final point. That was a melange of talking points, but thank you, Michael. Okay, so first of all, the number of undocumented immigrants has been more or less similar for decades. You're right, there's racism in our immigration policy. That's not anything new either. That existed actually more prominently under Donald Trump, who called those ish-hole countries. He's the one that said he wanted Norwegians, not Haitians, and yet you want to vote for him, even though you're criticizing the policy that he has said in no uncertain terms he would continue and expand. He's told you who he wants here, not just outright, but also in terms of his policies at Mar-a-Lago, where they were importing immigrants under the special visa that you can get to work at Mar-a-Lago, because he didn't want the black Americans and Haitian Americans in Florida to work in the front of his club. They could only clean up or be in the kitchen or in the back. They weren't allowed to be greeters. They weren't allowed to be hostesses at the restaurant or out on the golf club. So he was actually importing white women on these special visas, just like he imported his white wife on a special visa, to come and replace you. That's who's replacing you. And you know, worst president ever, I need your metrics. As far as what I've seen in my lifetime, that would be Donald Trump. And I could base that on nothing more than 1 million people who didn't have to die under COVID because he was too busy politicizing it, demonizing Fauci and making his own freestyle recommendations that are based on nothing. You're not a doctor. You're not even a real businessman. We've seen the new reporting by the new writings by the former producer of The Apprentice and everything they had to do, the smoke and mirrors that they had to use to make him seem like he was a competent businessman. That's reality TV, which we know is not based on reality. The talking points, yeah. His are obvious, so hopefully they're not sinking in for you. But this "you will not replace me" rhetoric, it's right out of the Nazi playbook. It's right out of a fascist playbook. You think that immigrants are coming to this country so they can replace you at the bottom of everything statistically in the United States? I don't think so. And if they disappear tomorrow, that doesn't mean white supremacy and anti-blackness automatically leaves. I think that's the Mark Carter pipe dream. It's based on a zero-sum and sort of bizarre theory that anti-blackness is, automatically goes away when immigrants go away. There's no evidence to support that. There's no historical basis for such a theory. If we could just get rid of white supremacy by getting rid of individuals, I think it would have been gone a long time ago. 800-920-1580, that's the number Michael called. You can too. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PATH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys. Let's take our auntie to the swap meet. Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Hey LA, today I'm here to talk to you about Grid Alternatives, which is a nonprofit in LA that focuses on renewable energy. We serve communities who have been left out of the renewable energy sector. We offer paid job training, and in 13 weeks, you can become a solar installer. 80% of our graduates get hired into the industry, and once you're hired in the industry, you stop at a high, medium income. That could be $20 an hour or more. 80% of our graduates get hired into the industry. Call today so you don't be left out at 323-861-0800. 888-888-0105 or gridalternatives.org, gridalternatives.org.
Our city's hottest weeks of summer are approaching. If you're 60 or older, you're at risk of heat stroke or worse. Extreme heat can kill. That's why KBLA Talk 1580 is part of our year-long climate justice campaign. Has partnered with the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power and the LA City Department of Aging for LADWP's Powered by Equity event, Heat Relief for Seniors Resource Fair. Join fellow LA seniors who hope to beat the heat and stay safe on Monday, July 15th, 10 a.m. at the Watts Labor Community Action Center in South Los Angeles. Learn about LADWP's Easy Save and Level Pay programs to help lower your monthly electric bill. And there will be tips and resources to be ready and safe in the heat. LADWP customers 60 years or older will be eligible to receive a portable air conditioner while supplies last. Personal ID and your LADWP bill are required. Contact your LA Department of Aging Neighborhood Senior Center for Cool LA Heat Relief for Seniors participation details or visit www.ladwp.com/events. Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio, KBLA Talk 1580.
Big shout out to the chat boy on YouTube. You can join it at KBLA 1580 on YouTube. Y'all are relentless. And I want to give you the heads up. A guest we've never had on before, who I'm really looking forward to talking to next hour, William Hartung. He's an expert on AI techno warfare, automated warfare, and the way that we sling, buy, sell, and vend weaponry in this country. And really looking forward to that. Military budget and such. Get some good information. Speaking of talking points, counteracting some of the knee-jerk talking points that we hear over and over again. I do think the Dems are in disarray when it comes to what they're saying about Biden, their messaging about who's going to be at the top of the ticket. Got some people calling for Biden to step down, other people supporting him, i.e. Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, who are the leaders of both, each of their respective bodies of Congress. So that's good. I get it. I can see why folks want him to step down, but to me, it is stupid. It's giving circular firing squad just because, again, I agree with the elderly woman that was low-key yelling at me and Dr. Molina when we were canvassing, unofficially canvassing the other day, saying that, she'll take Biden in a wheelchair, Biden on a stretcher over Trump, in a weightlifting suit. I mean, it's... Ew, gross image. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that to you early in the morning. But it's, it's because Republicans have the temerity. Republicans, you could say they're dumb or they're committed, depending on how you look at it. Their guy can have 34 felonies, been found liable for rape, have more pending cases, et cetera, character flaws, slept, with a adult star, and they don't care. They're Trump. We're over here. Well, maybe he should step down. Well, maybe he shouldn't. Should it become one? You know what? We just need to roll and move, stick and move. It's time to get on one page. And right now the page is Biden. That's who. And I misspoke yesterday. I said there was no primary. Jen was saying we should have had a primary. There was no robust primary, where like on the Republican side, because we already have an incumbent is what I meant. Yeah, there were a few people that tried to run, and yesterday Biden said, challenge me at the convention. I don't know if he should have said that. I mean, it's highly unlikely that anyone would be successful doing that. But the only reason I say that was that was his attitude about the debate, and let's look how that turned out. Anyway, let's go to Robert calling us from the Bay Area. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Dominique. I was laughing at your previous caller, Michael. I mean, what does he think Project 2025 has for black folks? I mean, he's clearly unread, clearly misinformed, clearly delusional if he thinks that Trump, which I'm still waiting for any Trump supporter, and this includes black, white, or whomever, I'm still waiting for them to tell me one policy, just one, that he's been talking about that he's going to institute when he becomes president again, because I can't remember any policies he implemented back during his 4 years. And I'm so sick of these unread black folks getting on platforms like yours, a very well-respected platform, and speaking and talking out the side of their neck. I mean, he's saying that Joe Biden, you got to look at what he's done for black employment. Oh my God, hold on, I'm driving.
Well, I got you. We have the lowest black unemployment on record, unless you count our enslavement, but I don't think that we had full employment then, but we weren't being paid, so we won't count that. And the list goes on. I mean, he hasn't done nothing except the election. Like, I'm not a Biden stan, but he gave us a Supreme Court justice, which is what we asked for, not just a black one, but a qualified one, vice president, putting a equity lens on all of the government programs, tried to give $4 billion to black farmers, but Republicans shut it down, tried to forgive student loans, but Republicans shut it down, and he's had to work around that. And I just saw data the other day that the most likely person to be carrying student loan debt in this country is a black woman. So specifically, that means that would help you, i.e. us. I already paid mine off, but, it took me 100 years. I mean, and we can go on, right, Robert?
Yes. And so again, I just, for people who listen to people like your previous caller, just do a Google search and just see what Biden has done for specifically the black community. Because I can tell you now, Trump, and the speaking point is always about the border and people coming into the country. I mean, yes, that is a problem, but Biden tried to do something about that. The Republicans shut it down, and then he had to implement an executive order just to get something done there, which they still didn't agree with because Trump had ordered them not to agree with anything that Biden was trying to do, regardless if it was to the Republican benefits. So I just encourage your listeners, please just, if you're just ignorant like your last caller, just do a Google search. And that's all I wanted to see. Thank you, Dominic. Love your show. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate the perspective. And I think it's an important reminder. I was talking about this yesterday. The media and the polls and the pundits said that France was about to elect a fascist government for the first time or since near World War II. And they didn't do it. They did not do it. The Brits, the UK has elected a Labour Party and kicked out the Conservative. Now, this Labour Party prime minister that they've put in place has, from what I'm reading, a history of anti-blackness and repressive policing kinds of tactics, but it's still, it's they took their Biden over their Trump. And so we have to remember, when I hear people like Robert, it reminds me that pundits are not the people. The politicians are not the people. The people are the people. And that's what I think Biden was trying to say when he started ranting and raving about elites. I mean, that's the terminology that I guess is popular. That's what Trump says. But the point is, it's up to the voters. It's not up to the pundits. I think that's what they're saying. The power is with the people, not the pundits, not the press, although the press can sway the people. And so that is the most important thing to keep in mind. We still have the final say-so as long as we show up. And when black people show up in numbers, good things happen at the polls. That's how that goes. The one policy he could take credit for his first step, because he signed it and he did get some people out of prison, but that was started by the Obama administration. He reluctantly signed it. Now he runs around saying, I'm a felon and I did, first step, I let people out of prison, so vote for me. Okay, you reluctantly signed something that Obama put in motion, and meanwhile you went on a death penalty killing spree on death row, which people did not notice on your way out the door. Looking forward to talking with Mr. Hartung next. William Hartung is my guest on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network, a member of the Recruiting.
Discriminated against unintelligent diseases, the virus played a second among older Americans.